When someone says something to correct you, did they do it to make you feel better, or are they just picking someone apart? What are some of the best foods to travel with on a plane? How to survive a meltdown in aviation travel. All this next on Cabin Pressure with Shawn and G.
Prepare for takeoff.
Hey everyone, welcome. This is Cabin Pressure.
It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Shawnee. I'm here, ready to talk and fight on the forces of flight attendant perspective.
What's going on, Happy Gilmore, man? Your golf tournament, what happened?
Dude, I had like a great weekend. It was like this started off like I had this big golf tournament this week, and I decided, the night before there was this like that concert thing that, the music that we like to go to over down the road here.
Mapleside.
Mapleside was happening. And it was Motorhead. And I said, I'm going to go over to Motorhead. So a bunch of friends and stuff, they're like, go on, let's do this. And literally I got in my car. Then this is the night before this big tournament. And I drove down and I got to the middle of town here. And I said, what the fuck are you doing? And I just had this like a reality. I'm like, dude, this is not a good idea. This is a big money tournament. I need to get my ass home, get some sleep, get ready for a tournament, right? And dude, it all paid off. It was awesome. I mean, I had my tournament. It was a 2-day tournament. We won our flight. We won first place overall the entire tournament the first day. Second day, we won our flight. Then we got, I think, 5th overall in the second day, but we won second place overall for the entire tournament.
Damn. And
then we got into the shootout, and the shootout's just like this. Each further you go in the shootout, the more money you make. And we got pretty far and everything. So we were real happy with what everything that happened. So it was good.
You didn't buy lunch. I didn't see you buy lunch.
No, dude, I'm not buying you lunch.
Shit, you made all that money. You didn't buy lunch?
Dude, you're so tight. You need to be buying me lunch. What are you talking about? I spend my damn money.
Shit, the funny thing you were talking about that, all I could think about, all they were showing was the new Happy Gilmore movie.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's funny that you said that because one of the guys in the tournament, he was like, we were talking about Happy Gilmore and all that stuff, and he was like, yeah, I don't know, somebody in his family or whatever bought his daughter a Happy Gilmore putter.
Right.
They make these putters right now that are for the
hockey stick.
It looks like a hockey stick. Yeah. The putter does. It's pretty cool, but they're expensive. They're super expensive, and I've seen them all over the place. But it was like upwards of $10,000 for this stupid putter. Like I don't know who would pay $10,000 for a putter.
Was it signed?
I don't know, dude. I'm just like
It had to be signed. Shit, yeah. For that much money, it's got to be signed.
Yeah, it's got to be signed or something like that. But I mean, cool.
I got to tell you though, Motorhead, you didn't miss anything.
No. Oh, see, that my reports were like, okay, so you don't like that music, right?
No, it's not that. All the reports that you're hearing, the same ones that I heard last time. Inside, like when they played inside the bars, they're like they're really good, and I was like, well, you guys are drunk.
Well, that's the point of that place, right?
No, yeah, but you're drunk though, because I'm sitting right in front. You seen where I was sitting last time. I'm sitting right down in front. If you're good, I'm staying there.
Right.
But Motorhead, halfway through it, I'm down there going, yeah, they're not good. They're not good.
I hear people that are like, oh yeah, they're great, but I think it's like that, just like you're saying, people are drunk and it's like sing along music, like everybody likes to sing along, dance, and
we're past the middle age part,
right,
to where we just enjoy to get your ass out every once in a while,
right?
So when you're out there and you're having you're drinking, which shit, they all do that. So they're out in lawn chairs, they're drinking and they're eating, they're having a good time regardless. And and Motorhead, yeah, they're not that good. Hey, you didn't miss anything.
You know what you missed at the last time when we went up there is you were talking about the lawn chairs and all this stuff. So we were on the side of the hill there. This place is like set up on a overlooking a valley, looking west, and you get these beautiful sunsets at night and concerts right there. The band's right in the sunset. It's awesome. But the hill, there's so many people. You can get on the side hill, and I put my chair on the side hill and I was drinking a little bit, and I fucking rolled right down that hill. My chair tipped over. I couldn't even stop myself. I was like tumbling, and I tumbled into like 5 people. Like they were like, "What just happened?"
Well, there was this lady that was in front of us that she had one of those rocker chairs.
Yeah,
and the whole time that I was looking, because it's angled down.
Yeah,
and I was looking at her going, that's going to be the most miserable chair to be in for the next few hours. She switched with her husband right next to her,
and
he was like, "Yeah, this sucked." So he got the shitty chair and she got the good one.
And also what I didn't tell you was we brought our chairs popping up.
Right.
And we did like a little tailgate beforehand. And our chairs, like I've had these things for like 20, 25 years, right? I sit in this chair and the damn thing collapsed. Like I broke the fucking chair. And Carol's
that
like,
made you feel
we
good.
didn't bring any extra chairs. And I'm like, I know. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like literally like the plastic in the chair, the connectors to this fold up chairs, it had just gotten hard and just crumbled.
Did you have that feel good moment?
And I was like, yeah, the feel good, I'm a fat ass moment. Yeah. In front of all my friends. It was great. It was a special feeling.
Oh my God. I would have loved to seen that one.
Yeah, there's some funny things that happen. So what else? What's happening with you?
Man, quite a bit. So this week, I was going to the airport, and funny thing about it, walked into the airport, and it was like it was taken over by the Cub Scouts.
I've been in an airport where you got like 50 troops of Cub Scouts.
Exactly.
It's like every time I think of the Cub Scout I always think of like what's that movie Up? Whatever.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
the little kid.
Yeah, because you got those little shorts on with the little shirt and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was completely taken over. The whole airport area out front, they had all their bags, so that you knew that they were going on like an outing. They do these outings where they fly somewhere and they go out. But man, did that take me back, because years ago I was forced, and I'm telling you, forced to go into the Cub Scouts with my son Jackson.
Yeah. Dude, I'm so glad I never had to do that experience.
Forced. Yeah. So, you have to go to these meetings, and then when you're going to the meetings, you're in the back because they have to do certain things to earn these little like badge clips things for their belt and shit like that. So, I'm back there with a couple of the other dads, and they're pretty funny. So me and these other guys didn't want to be there either. So we're like razzing each other the whole time. And we constantly get in trouble. We were like the bad kids in class. We got in trouble by the scout master. You know what I mean? And they're like, "Oh, you guys got to keep it down." Da, da, da. And we're like, whatever. We don't get here in the first place. But these guys they're doing all their stuff. But some of the funny things I had to tell you about this one. Okay, that they do this thing. It's called the Derby.
The Derby?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, when they make their little race cars and stuff like that?
Yeah. Okay. So they give them a block of wood, and they give you like the wheels, some pins, some weights. Everybody gets the same thing.
Materials,
right?
right.
So what you have to do is that you have to create this car. And this whole time, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I mean, it's going on. It's weeks and weeks. And Deb's brother, Danny.
Yeah.
Right. He's doing all this work on this car. So he's making this unbelievable derby car. It looks like something that goes out on the racetrack.
Sure.
He's whittling this thing down. He's shaving it down. He's doing all. Meanwhile, mine is a block of wood still. Okay, and she's like, "You got to do something with this. He's got to do the derby." And I'm like, "I don't want to do this."
It's funny because it's funny like your wife saying you got to do it. Like this is the Cub Scout stuff becomes you're the Cub Scout.
And I got stuck in it. It wasn't like I signed him up for it. Like I just, you got
Jackson should have been doing the freaking whittling.
Right.
Like he's the person that should have been like working on this car, not you.
Well, that's the same thing as Danny, but that ain't happening. Right. So anyway, he's designing this whole car. He's got Shawn, he had actual working lights on it.
Oh, believe me.
So we go in. You have to go into this.
But I thought it was only like limited to the materials. You only can use those specific materials.
It is, but he had added these two little light things because they could have to do it for like their weight and balance, and then they have to do it for show. They have ones for the show.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. So he does it. He's looking for the show. So he's looking for the best looking one. So we go in and they weight these things and they do all that. And Danny comes in with this prize trophy car. And I mean, literally, it looks like a stock car. And so Jackson comes in. You know what Jackson's was?
A square brick with wheels.
He looked like somebody just took his favorite toy away from him, and he had his head down walking in. And I'm like, why you got your head down? He goes, Dad, it looks stupid. It's called the blue surfboard.
The blue surfboard.
The blue surfboard. And what this was is that I had to cut this thing down, and then I had some blue spray paint that I had, and I spray painted that damn thing with the blue spray paint, put the wheels on it and everything. So he walks in and they're like, hey, you know, what's this?
What is this?
And he goes, it's blue surfboard. And they're like, what? Blue surfboard. And he just looked at me and he's got this look on his face. Danny's over there and everybody's looking at it, comes over, looks, oh man, that's a stock car, lights, everything.
Yeah.
You know, really cool. So the first thing that they do is that they go and they say which one has best to show. And you know who got that?
Yeah.
Danny. So he's over there standing there taking pictures of that. Jackson's over there with his head down. I mean, it's horrible. Deb, she's looking at me like, you know, I'm the worst dad in the whole freaking world. And so, you know, he's like, I just want to go home. I don't even want to put it up on the track because they got to race now.
Right. Now they got to race it.
So they got to go put this thing and they race this thing. He walks up there reluctantly. He don't want to go up there.
Right.
So he sets this thing up and he's like, stupid thing. The whole thing, he's saying this thing, stupid thing. So
he didn't have an overall enjoyable experience.
Oh, it's horrible. It was horrible. So he gets up there and he puts this thing up there and you know, he's in the first race and then he puts it up there and Deb's like, we need to just go home. And I was like, just wait till it goes. I mean, he's like, I'm going to lose. There's no way. And then all of a sudden they release it. Jackson takes off like a bat out of hell, man. This thing goes down there, Shawn. It kicks the shit out of everybody's.
Really?
Now, he's sitting there looking at it, and all of a sudden he went from being this big downer to like, oh,
the
hell yeah.
Kid. Yeah, like
blue surfboard.
Brilliant.
Blue surfboard now, right? So
he's ready to print shirts, pass out flags.
He goes through this thing. So anyway, he takes second place in this thing.
That's awesome.
And so the funny part about it is Danny goes, well, how in the hell did you do that? And I said, well, you was doing that. I was looking online at one of the national winners and how he actually designed his car.
Right.
And he was an engineer.
Yeah.
So I just did it exactly the way he did it, put it on there.
Right. They didn't know what was coming.
Won that shit.
Didn't look pretty, but it won.
Yeah, it did.
Right. This reminds me of, you know, you're talking about scouts and all that stuff. My brother-in-law, when his daughter was young, you know, Indian princesses. Have you ever heard of that group?
No.
There's like young girls, like they have this Indian princess group and all that stuff. And they go like, it's kind of like a Boy Scout thing. It's just not as big, but they had this Indian princess group. And one of the things is that like he was reluctantly has to go with his daughter because it was kind of like a daughter-father thing.
Right.
And he had to go to this like sleepover thing and all this stuff. So they had to give the father's Indian names, you know? And so his name was caged animal.
Caged animal.
Yeah. That's what you... just remind me of this whole...
Dude, listen. There's one more though. I got to tell you that happened with this, Shawn. Mm-hmm. I mean, before we go on to the next thing. Okay, so I was doing a double red eye. I was doing this all nighter. So you had to leave from Cleveland to LA back. Okay, he had one of those outings that you had to go to. Mm-hmm. So I had to do red eye. Came back in. I was late. Right. Loser dad. I'm the loser dad at this point. Right. Somebody else had to take him to the outing.
Why?
Because I was late.
Okay.
So they had to take him out to the Boy Scout camp and everything. So can I go home, go sleep? No, I got to run to the Boy Scout camp. Now it's like 45, 50 minutes away. Driving like a bat out of hell again to get to this thing. So I get there. I'm like, okay, where's this troop at? And they said they're at the archery range.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I said, okay, where's the archery range? And they said on the other side of the camp. I was like, okay, can I drive there? And they're like, no. I'm like, how am I supposed to get there? They said, follow that path. This is all the way on the other side. Now it's hot. I mean, it's hot outside. Ugh. So I run all the way across this thing. I'm sweating. And now I come up on this whole group and they're at this archery range. Now this thing was closed in with these little ropes.
Right.
Sticks. Nobody knew I was back there. I was like, this is perfect. I'm going to sneak in the back. Nobody's going to know. I'm just going to slide right in the back of this thing.
Right.
Now, there's this one sergeant at arms guy at this little loop door thing, and it's at entrance of the archery range.
Mm-hmm.
So I walk over, and I step over that loop. Biggest mistake I made in my life, Shawn.
What happened?
You have entered the archery range without asking permission.
Oh, shit.
I turned around and I was like, what?
This is like military Joe at the gate, right?
Everybody and their mother turned around and they were all staring at me. Now, you know how I'm looking at
Jackson's
this
over and just like dipping his head.
Put his head down again, right? There's my dad, right? And I'm looking at this guy and I'm standing there. He's in his little shorts and his shirt. And I'm looking at him like, dude, I would if there wasn't so many witnesses right now, I would go get that extra bow and arrow and shoot you like a Thanksgiving turkey.
Yeah, that's right,
brother. I'm telling you, man. I was looking at him and I was like, and he goes, "You need to leave the archery range and ask for permission." So I stepped back over that damn loop, Shawn, and I looked at him and I said, "May I enter the archery range?" "You can enter the archery range." I'm like, son of a... So I stepped in there, and the first thing this one guy said, right, his name was Brian, he said, "Gary, do not kill him."
Right, exactly. Like, I'm going to get in this archery and I'm going to shoot this motherfucking dad.
So that was the end of my Cub Scouting.
Oh, jeez.
Right there. I'm just telling you, but the Cub Scouts, yeah, it's a good organization. It just wasn't for me.
It's good, man, for these young boys and to get out there and experience and understand. And, we all need more male guidance in this world, right?
Yeah, you do. I mean, it is a great organization. Like I said, it just wasn't for me, and I have a bunch of funny stories that go with that, but I'll give you those two right now, maybe a few other later.
Right, we got a few other things to talk about today.
We do, and skunk weed.
Skunk weed, dude, I can't stand it.
Can't stand that crap, man.
I can't stand the smell. Like, it's like, it's weed. I was talking to somebody the other day about this whole thing because, like, I grew up in California. Weed was everywhere, dude.
Right.
I mean, I'm a 60s child. Like, weed, when smoking weed it never smelled like this back then.
No.
Okay? It's, like, changed over time, and it's turned into this very skunky smell that, like when I'm out driving and stuff and I do the Uber Eats thing and stuff, like, I go in apartment buildings or anything like that, it's like you could just smell it everywhere. It's like it permeates it. Or like you get the pastors on the plane that they've been smoking and then they come on and it's just like a smoker, like any other smoker.
Right.
They don't realize they stink.
No, I was laying over at the gallery downtown in Houston. I got out of the van. And Shawn, I was like, what the? Man, that shit smells. What the hell is that? Yeah. And I turn around and there's these two people over in the sitting area at the entrance of the hotel smoking weed. And I'm like, that freaking stinks, man. And the van driver's like, this is where they sit and they smoke that. And I'm like, man, people realize this. Okay, when you smoke weed, you stink, your breath stinks, your air stinks.
Your clothes
stink. The car stinks. Everything stinks. And you make everybody suffer for that nasty ass skunk weed smell. Can't stand that.
Yeah.
Cannot stand that. I mean it was just nasty.
That to me is just exactly like the just cigarette smoke, period. I mean, those two hand in hand, like I'm not a smoker, period. So it's like, I just can't stand the smell of it. And when it permeates off people, like I don't care if they get, they're smoking weed, they're smoking cigarettes. I
walk into the airport and you know that people working on the airport are smoking it because it's down in the airport area.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you're walking down the concourse and it's just like wafting, you're walking behind somebody that smoking weed.
So if you smoke weed, just realize this, you stink. I'm straight. You do. You stink, man. I mean, you do. Even if you don't think that you do, you stink. And trust me, you do. But hey, listen, I had to tell you too. You know, this family came on. Okay, how many kids do you think they had?
I don't know. 4?
8.
8 kids.
8 freaking kids. 8.
Wow, dude. Right. That is, first of all. I mean, I don't have any kids, so I can only talk to you from an outside looking in perspective here. But 8 kids, I would go freaking insane.
8 is not enough. 8 is way too damn many.
Yeah, way too many.
You shouldn't be. It was not the Brady Bunch either. It wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't Greg, Jan, Cindy, and Marcia for sure.
Now you know it's funny that like you say this. Like I've had those families where they take up a whole row that's like 6 on our narrow body aircraft, and or they'll have like I had one family that literally was 12 people,
right?
Kids, and so 10 kids, 2 adults. And those type of families, like when I see them, a lot of times it's like the families working together, like everybody from the littlest one all the way to the big one have jobs to take care of each other. Like it's like everybody's got to be taking care of each other in order for it to happen, because it's just out of control. And it sounds like this family wasn't like that. No.
That you're thinking years ago, man. That's how my mom was, because we had 5 kids.
Yeah.
Okay, we had 5, but my mom had it under control. There was no control here. Yeah. I mean, this was absolutely crazy. But what really killed me was that he came back and he was talking to me, and he goes, "Can I ask you a question?" I said,
father.
"Sure." Yeah, the father.
Yeah.
And he said, "Can I ask a question?" He said, "Why don't you guys do anything special for families?" And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" He goes, "Well, we bought 8 tickets." And I said, "Okay, well, what kind of tickets did you buy?" And he said, "The economy tickets." He said, "Because I wasn't going to spend $100 for the economy plus so we could all sit together."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Well, okay, but that's kind of your fault."
Yeah.
And he said, "Yeah, but," he goes, "you should just move people around, let the family sit together."
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not how it works here.
That's kind of like that whole point right there. That whole perspective to me is like that guy that comes on that's 7 foot that's sitting in economy.
Yeah.
And you're like, are you stupid?
You had those legs when you bought the ticket.
Yeah, you've been 7 foot for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to fit in these seats.
Right.
Like, you think we need to move you? No, you need to buy the appropriate ticket. Like we don't need to solve your problem, and you don't need to like get away with it without paying type of thing. But I mean, that's life. Like you got to go through it in your own way. But it's like, come on.
But the airline, I mean, even with these guys, the airline, not us, but the airline, the gate agents got 3 together, and then 2 of them had to sit separate. That's a miracle in itself on a full plane.
Yeah, that's amazing. But I mean,
they always act like when they purchase these tickets when there's a bunch of seats open, and as you know, there's not many seats open anymore.
And if they do travel, like I don't know if this is like first time for this family to travel, but it's like, if it's a first time, okay, I'm going to give them a little slack here. But if it's not their first time traveling, like they're used to going places, have to sit separate. That's just, they're too big of a group, right? So, yeah. I mean, that's just craziness. But anyway.
Yeah, it was, like I said, 8 was way too damn many for these guys. That's for sure.
Right.
But something, I had to tell you something. Last week, whenever we got done with our podcast.
Yeah.
When we walked outside, you had told me something that kind of triggered something in me, and I was like, we got to discuss this one.
Yeah. I was talking to you about some feedback. The feedback was they were wanting me to tell you that you always say me and you,
right?
Instead of
my grammar.
Yeah, and they were commenting on grammar. And this is not the first time like somebody from the show is like there's been other people like have commented about grammar on the show and stuff. But honestly, I do all the editing to our show, and at first when we first started a podcast, I thought, okay, I should think about this and do this and this stuff. But then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, you know what? This is a real show. This is me and you.
This is exactly you and I. Me and you. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's
it's
how we
like,
talk.
well, this is how we talk. And however it comes out, the intentions are like this atmosphere that we're in right now. This is a place of like reality. Like we're talking to you for real, from our heart, and, giving you the real stuff here. We're not in a classroom teaching grammar.
Right.
Right. This isn't where we're the platform.
So this is one of those things. Normally I just brush it off, but I had to go back and I had to reflect for a moment. So I started thinking, I said at first, why did I do this podcast in the first place? It wasn't to be perfect, but shit, I'm not perfect by no means. It wasn't to sound polished like some broadcast news anchor, because that shit just definitely isn't me. It was to be real. It was to be the person that I am, and hopefully I was going to connect to people, that they were going to see, exactly what goes on in our lives in the galley and what we talk about on airplanes, and sometimes it's just about life itself. Then I asked myself, well, why do they pick me apart? Why didn't they just enjoy listening to it? Why did they just wait to catch a mistake, or they just didn't want to lean in to hear the story? And the truth is, it brought me back all the way back to when I was a kid. When I'd say something and someone would correct me, not just the words, but the way I said it. And man, that used to bother me a lot. It made me feel a little bit small. You ever felt like that? A little bit small? Like I had to earn the right to speak. Somehow I wasn't good enough. I wasn't perfect. But, then you start to grow. You kind of toughen up and you learn, I don't give a shit what these people think. At least that's what we tell ourselves, that we don't care. But sometimes something little like grammar correction, it gets under your skin. Not just because of the words, because of what it represents. So here's what I've come to. Why do people do that? Maybe they want to feel smart. Maybe they've been taught to follow the rules so closely that they can't see beyond that. Maybe it's just a pet peeve, or maybe it's just correcting others, giving them a false sense of power that they don't feel anywhere else in their own life. And sure, maybe, just maybe, they think they're helping. But if you're listening and you've ever been corrected in a way that makes you feel less, know this: your voice is valid, your story, it's worthy. And nobody has the right to make you feel small for sharing it. So the person who corrected me, I'm not mad at you. In fact, thank you. Because this small moment made me check back in with my purpose. It reminded me why I do this podcast. It reminded me to give people space to be human.
That's right, man. I mean, we get corrected about stuff as we are growing and coming up as a child and stuff. But it also made me reflect about something too. Like in my life, when I was a kid, I had this experience where I always got corrected, and I always felt like the dumb kid in the class. And coming from, I'm going to tell you, there's some social aspects here that people may not know about a show. Like I grew up in a family of a mixed race kid. My mother's white, my dad's black, and the dynamics of that as a child are, there's a lot of navigation going through there. And you're just trying to be a kid and fit in. But to put this thing of like, you're like inferior and you don't have proper grammar and all this stuff, it made me reflect back. Like I remember when I was young, I had to go for about a year to this doctor that was a psychologist that was like analyzing me as being like there was something wrong with me. And I'm telling you, like that year was like one of the longest years of my being a kid, because I was always worried about like, what's wrong with me? Why don't I fit in? Like what's happening? Why do I have to go to this place? And then the other kids who were there, they had, like, I could clearly see that these kids that were here with me had like lots of problems and stuff, but it really got to you. Like, I mean, I was like emotionally like damaged by this whole event that I was made to go to this clinic and all this stuff. But it was, and then like right after that, then they put me into speech therapy, and then I had to go through that. And then I was always like the kid that like, I'm going to tell you right now, like spelling, I was the worst speller in the world. Still am the worst speller in the world. I'm 60 years old. I can't spell worth a damn.
Right.
But unfortunately, or fortunately, I have overcome all those different obstacles and stuff like that, and gotten to a point where it's like, be you. Those things, you got to be you. You got to continue to be you, and say and feel and talk at whatever level you are in life. And when you get to a point, like if this person that you're talking about had the intention of, ill intent and like to knock people down, well, fuck you is what I say.
Right.
But if they have the intent of they're trying to make us better and they're trying to improve us and all this stuff, the person that you're talking to also has to be a willing recipient of it.
But why would you see the one thing that I don't understand is that why would you just pick out the grammar? But going back to when we was a kid, because this took me back. It really did. When we were when I was driving down the road, I was sitting there thinking to myself, well, I got to get better. I got to do this. And I thought to myself, no, you don't, Gary. Fuck that. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because when I was a kid, I dealt with all that shit. I'm telling you, I dealt with it. I was on the outside of this end circle. Okay. And I tried to fit in. I tried to look a certain way, talk a certain way, be a certain way. And then I realized I had this phenomenal mom. And she used to tell me all the time, because I used to get migraines. Migraines are where I'd throw up. I have to stay in a dark room. And it was horrible. And it was all because of the stress of trying to fit in, trying to do what someone else wanted me to do or say what they wanted me to say. So I got these migraines all the time, but I had this mother that kept telling me, the most important thing, Gary, is to be a good person, to be someone that other people want to talk to, that they can depend on. And that's it. That's life. That's the most important thing in life, is to be a good person. So I spent my life trying to be that good person. But still, it's amazing, though, these little bitty words, when somebody says something, it goes all the way back to when you was a kid. So if you see your kids dealing with something, just realize this: you being there for them, that kid's it's gonna get stronger. They're gonna get tougher, and they're gonna, the outside shell is gonna get to where people don't bother them anymore. Because let me tell you something: as much as I appreciate you, right, I don't give a shit. I really don't. I mean, if you don't like what I say, if you don't like how I say it, you don't have to listen. You don't. Sure. I mean, you do not have to listen. And if you're just doing it to help, I appreciate you offering your help, but a lot of times when you do that, maybe you should talk about the show first.
Sure.
Maybe you should talk about what we talked about are the content of the show, not exactly am I using the correct grammar, because that did affect me in a way. But you know what you did? Truthfully, you made me stronger.
Absolutely. You know what? That's one of my things. Like I was telling you, we were talking about this before. My wife used to correct my grammar all the time, and she was doing it, and she was doing it from the heart. Like she comes from a different, part of the world than I do. And she wanted me to fit into that world that she wanted, but at the same time, she wasn't ashamed of what it was, but she was she wanted me to be better, because she knew that I was very motivated to better myself. I was reading books, and I was trying to teach myself all these different ways of becoming a better person. I was doing all this self-reflection and trying to build myself up. And when you're in a atmosphere or the a state of wanting to improve yourself, and you're trying to do that type of stuff, those type of comments are okay. To me, it's okay that she was doing it. It would make me mad, and it would make me reflect on, my childhood and things like that. But I would check myself, because I was like, wait a minute, I'm trying to make myself better. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm trying to do myself, and she's trying to help me. So this is not malicious or anything. But this whole thing, honestly, everybody listening out there on our podcast, we're going to be us. We're going to be us. We're going to talk about everything and anything. We're going to bring you our experiences, and we're going to say it how we want to say it. And fuck it. If you don't want to listen, don't listen.
Don't listen, because I guarantee you, I'm 58 years old. My ass, the grammar's not going to be right.
Right.
Okay,
but if you want to hear something real,
yeah,
listen to us.
All right. So here's the real helpful. Best foods to travel with on a plane.
Yeah. Let's talk about some positive stuff, man. You know what? There's a lot of stuff like bringing I was just at the airport the other day, and I did this Orlando turn, and I got down to Orlando, and we got on a delay, and so I didn't bring enough food with me and all that, so I went to buy some food, man. I went to buy a sandwich and a bag of chips. Tell me how much that costs in the airport.
Depends on what airport you're talking about.
Orlando.
Orlando. Chips and sandwich.
Yeah,
$20.
Yeah, it was $20. I got a discount. I got it for 15. Right? That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, these are the airports. The airports are like so damn expensive. I was in LA the other day. I wanted to get something to eat too. Went to go get a burger. Burger $25. I was like, come on, this is crazy. But we wanted to give you some tips about foods to travel with. We pack our own stuff. And we bring our stuff all the time.
And the reason is for regular flights. But a little bit later in this show, you're gonna understand why we're telling you this today. But sandwiches and wraps, definitely, man. A wrap will last you throughout the day. It's good to have.
Yeah. I mean, fresh fruits, cheese cubes, or cheese sticks and stuff like that. That's great. And all these things we're talking about are things that you can bring through to TSA checkpoint.
Right. You want a nut mix? Veg. I always have veggies. Veggies or cut veggies. I'll have them with hummus. I have them with a little bit of a ranch dressing every once in a while. And here's one of my favorite quinoa bowls.
Yeah, you're a quinoa bowl addict.
Love freaking quinoa bowls. Hey guys, I'm telling you, quinoa, little cucumber, little bit of onion, tomato, chickpeas. And you got it, man. I'm telling you. Put a little bit of dressing on it, you're set.
Yeah. And then always, you need the sweet stuff, the dark chocolate, some snack bars to come with you. All these different things. You just need to think about things that you can get through the TSA checkpoint, because you definitely don't want to bring liquids. So bringing veggies with ranch dip, that might not work. Right?
No.
So,
but this is the most important thing. Bring a container that you have a water bottle that you can fill up, because let me tell you something. Hydration on a plane, delays, everything are going to happen every single day. Most important thing, bottles of water for you and the kids. Make sure that you have them. Just bring empty ones through TSA. 9 times out of 10 now that the airports have watering stations, you can go fill it up, and then you got enough water on.
Yeah, I don't know an airport in the United States that do not have water, areas like fountains and stuff that fill up the water bottles in the airport. I was just on a plane the other day. This lady had her and her kids, and they all had the water bottles and everything. But for whatever reason, not one of them were filled up. And she was like, "Can you fill up our water bottles?" And I'm like, "No."
Do it right outside. Right outside. I know.
The plane only has so much, we only could stock so much and everything. And when you're talking about 200 people on an aircraft and you're one of the person and you want to take a giant portion of our supplies, no, that's not going to happen.
No, it's not. Okay. Yeah. So here's the other part. Don't be this passenger, Shawn.
What's that?
Okay. Here's some of the things that you guys, this does not want to be you on an airplane.
Yeah, these are things that you just behave better. Okay. That's what I got to say.
Here's your favorite. Don't wear your headphones during the safety demonstration.
Yeah, man. First of all, don't wear your headphones when anybody is talking to you, period. I mean, there's so many things happening in the beginning of the flight and during the flight as well that you need to be paying attention. But when somebody's looking at you and you see lips moving and you have the headphones on, and each person, seems like 200 of them are, we talk to them. Would you like a snack?
It's funny how
we take the headphones off and you're like, huh? What? What'd you say?
What was that?
I'm going to reach over and smack the shit out of you, dude.
You ain't shitting, man. We go over this all the time with you guys about the headphones. Take the damn headphones off.
Yeah, just be respectful of people, period. It doesn't have to be just flight attendants, like in the world.
Okay, I love this one. When you're serving food in the back, you're selling food.
What's that?
What do you have?
Yeah, what do you have?
There's a menu. Yeah, but what's on it?
What's on it?
It's right there. It's got pictures on it. So do you have this? No, it's not on that menu.
Dude, I literally hand that menu, like I pull it out of the seat and I just hand the menu and I'm like, I'll be back. And I literally look at the next person. Would you like something to drink? Like, I don't got time for that. Like, they don't understand. We only have a window. If you're on a 2-hour flight, we've got about an hour to like service 100, 200 people on the plane. And we're going to ask everybody what you'd like to drink and if you'd like a snack. I mean, depending on the airline, like some airlines don't give that stuff.
Right.
But for our airline, full service airline, we're going to do this, but we only have a certain window to do it.
Right.
And that is the time that you have to be participating.
Right. What would you like to drink? Can I have Pepsi? It's not on the menu.
Yeah.
Coke.
Yeah. Here's another thing you'd never do on a plane. Don't snap your fingers at me.
Ooh, that's a bad one.
Yeah.
That's a bad one.
That may not.
You know, some of the locations is like this. Psst. What was that?
I had a dude on the plane.
Sounds like air came out of somebody.
I had a dude on a plane last week. I'm like on the cart and I just had talked to him. And then like the person next to him needed something or whatever. And that motherfucker poked me.
Don't touch the nice flight
Dude,
attendants.
I was ready to break his freaking fingers. I'm serious. First of all, he was annoying me initially just because of how he was like just talking and the whole 9 yards. Then I turn around, I'm talking to other people and service other people, and the guy pokes me. I almost I wanted to smack him so bad.
The one thing that you don't do on an airplane is don't touch the flight attendants.
Don't touch them. There's no reason to touch anybody. It doesn't matter. Not even flight. Another passenger. Don't touch people.
Exactly.
Leave them alone. I mean, obviously, we have to share armrests and things like that, and you're in those confined spaces. But outside of that, there's no reason to intentionally poke someone.
And don't do this. Don't blow the lab up in the morning.
Oh, dude.
That's a nasty one.
And I of all people have got the most incredible, terrible digestive system. I got bathroom issues all the time. I go to
there's a need to know.
I got my gastrointestinologist. I got a doctor that I go to regularly that's dealing with my shit. All right. But I'm going to tell you right now, like there are times where you got that situation. But for some reason on the aircraft, there's always a person in the morning that comes on the plane and they want to take a shit on the plane. The first thing, before we even push back from the gate.
And all those bathrooms in the terminal.
Like, you're like, why would you want to put it in this confined space? Come on, bro.
Don't do it, man.
Don't do it.
Hey, can you move that crying baby to another area?
That's a great one. Yeah. We.
Oh, sure, man. I'm going to grab this infant. I'm going to go shove him up here in the overhead bin. Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but your little crying little shithead needs to move a couple rows.
Yeah, these people back here are mad.
They're a little irritated by that. Can you help us out?
No. Shit. First thing when you walk on the plane in the morning time, hey, good morning. What are you doing? I like my steak medium rare.
Yeah. That's so original. That's original.
That's a great one.
Thank you.
Hey, this is
Thank you for sharing.
This is one I love. This is all time. You know this one. Can we see the Grand Canyon from here?
Yeah. We get this stuff.
We'd be going to London, man. It'd be like, do we could fly over the Grand Canyon?
Yeah.
No.
So you know what I used to do with all those people? Like, or where are we?
Yeah, on an airplane.
Where are we? I would open your window, open your window. I go, look over there. See that down there, right there? I go, if you look real hard, I go, you'll see those big, the letters, that you see on the map that says the states, you'll see them as we fly across.
This other one's good too. When you're flying over like Nebraska.
Yeah.
Are those those alien circles they talk about?
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's called irrigation. That's how we irrigate crops in America, guys.
I personally respond with, yes, this is a very high level of alien encounters in this area.
And nobody ever sees them, man. Shitload of them just low. They just
see
land
from the
everywhere.
ground. But in our business, we get to see them where they're like concentrated more.
This is the best one in Cleveland. This is the best one in Cleveland I had in Cleveland. Excuse me, what was the ocean we just flew over?
Yeah.
Ma'am, that's a lake.
That's a lake.
That's a lake. There's not an ocean around Cleveland.
I give you. Listen, we're having poking fun and stuff, and I know people are first time flyers out there, and they don't get it, and like it's the first experience, and believe me, I am one of the most. I'm the advocate for I love first time flyers because they're fun. They're having good time.
This is all
they're
fun.
They experience the whole thing. I get it. They don't know and stuff like that, but this isn't from people that are first time flyers. Usually they're asking
every bit of what we're telling you makes our day, believe it or not. I mean, if you have the attitude in this job, which I do, Shawn does, is that we have fun. I mean, we do. We have fun. And we make fun of ourselves, and we make fun of situations, and we make fun of stuff that people tell us. And this is some of the shit that we hear on airplanes all the time. But into Cleveland and the ocean in Cleveland, that one was good. I always liked that one.
Yeah. But then, there's the other aspect of this airline, business is that we have meltdowns, and freaking the industry goes up and into a big shit show all the time.
I wonder what we're talking about this week.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go around the grill up here, and we're talking about meltdowns of how to deal with that stuff,
Okay, what he's talking about is Newark was a complete shit show this week. Again, I mean, what happens? This is what happens when a storm goes into the East Coast. And let me explain. I want to explain it to you. So when you're flying in, because this just happened with someone that was traveling non-rev travel, that I know the situation. So they were flying into Newark. Everything was great. They were coming out of Vegas. The flight was great. They were supposed to land in Newark. Well, the weather moved in to Newark. They had to divert. They didn't have enough fuel, so they had to actually go to Albany. Now, this person was supposed to make a connection going to Savannah. Now, they were right on time. Everything was perfect. But then they had to divert. So then they had to go to Albany, and then they had to fuel up Albany, sit there. And then meanwhile, the flight that she would have been on time with to Savannah was coming from Boston, short flight. So, it was getting in, but it was getting in a little bit late. But by the time the flight took off from Albany, got in there, this person was already late.
Yeah.
Okay. So they weren't making a connection. You're going to spend the night in Newark at that point. I mean, it was a complete shit show in Newark. And what we wanted to try to do is tell you, how do you survive the shit show?
Yeah. And before we get into that, how I got impacted with this whole thing that you're talking about is I was doing the turn down to, because this goes back to me buying a sandwich in Orlando. Right. We were doing a turn down to Orlando, and they took half my crew. And they sent them to Newark because the other flights were late, trying to get in and all that stuff. And they were trying to get Newark back in shape. And so they delayed us in Orlando to get another flight going to Newark to get that in on time. And so I ended up buying a $15 sandwich.
That's the part that they don't understand is that sometimes we just get handpicked. They'll pick you right out, and you're going somewhere else because we just fill spots here. When all this big snowball effect happens in the industry, flight attendants, everybody is subject to change. I mean, it doesn't matter who you are; you're subject to change.
Yeah, you may think you're going down to one destination and coming back home, and you're going to come home that night and stuff. You might not come home that night, and that's what we deal with every day. That's the possibility of every trip as soon as we check in for the job, you might not get home that night.
All right, so let's talk about how to survive this shit show, Shawn.
All right, let's try to do that.
All right. First of all, if you're in an airport and you see this is going on, the easiest thing to do, no planes are going out. You can see that. What you want to do is you want to basically go secure an area of seats and don't move. Don't move, because I'm going to tell you something. All those seats are going to be taken because you're going to see a big wave of people just flooding an area coming off of airplanes, and you're going to have nowhere to sit. So make sure that you get it. First of all, get a central location of a place you can sit. You can just relax.
Yeah, if you have a group of people, do that as much as you want. If you're traveling by yourself, it's going to be tough. But that's a good piece of advice there, because the airports, if you've ever been in an airport when the shit hits the fan, and I've been there they're bringing out cots and stuff in the airports and emergency, making the airport an emergency housing area because it's so bad.
Right. Well, and here's another one too, though. If if it's going to be an extensive delay and you're going to need something to eat, something to drink, send only one person in your group with a cell phone and tell them, make sure their cell phone's turned on and they can hear it. Send them for food and water. Keep your spot, because I'm telling you, man, you move, you lose it. And they ain't going to move after that point. So make sure you only send one person, and then you can keep in contact with them with a cell phone.
Yeah. The other thing you need to do is just on air, like travel with appropriate attire for however you are as far as cold and hot. Like have a blanket, have a sweatshirt, hoodie, whatever. And the plane gets cold, but if you have to spend a night in the airport, it's going to be real cold in that airport too. So you need to have that. You get to have those tools to take care of yourself. So people, when you're traveling, I mean, make sure that you have that, because planes are, they're all over the place. They're like hot, they're cold, they're up in,
Trust me on what he just said there. Always, always, always take a sweatshirt. I don't care if it's freaking 100 degrees outside. Sometimes in that aircraft, man, it is freaking freezing.
Right.
So take a sweatshirt, because you might need it when you're traveling.
Yeah. If you are on a plane, remember, until you're airborne, everything's subject to change. And even when you're airborne, it can change too. I was thinking about that. And I was like, yeah, I mean, it can change in an instant, just like there's people diverting. And, just know that, we're at the whim of Mother Nature.
It's out of your control.
Yeah,
I mean,
control.
That's the one thing that you better realize when you fly. You don't have any control. You might think that you do. I mean, look, me and Shawn been doing this a long time. We have zero control of this shit. Right. Zero. All we do is that when they say take off, we take off. When they say land, we land. That's it. That's as much control we have.
It's going to be on schedule.
Yep.
And we're doing everything possible to help it to be on schedule.
Right. And here's one thing before you go, and actually know your airport, know their information, know hotels, know things around there. Believe it or not, have a plan. If this happens, have a plan, because you're going to survive this plan. If you know that there's certain hotels, say that you have a list of 5 hotels in the area, and you have that list with you, or car rentals, the name of car rentals, or whatever it is, and you have it with you. You did your due diligence before, because you have your family and everything, even travel by yourself, but you have this readily available. When that shit show happens, you don't have to look for it. You don't have to search for it. You can just call it and then book a room.
Yeah. A lot of these tips and stuff we're telling you right now are big in just frequent flyers. Like frequent flyers, a lot of them do this. This is how I travel. Like we do everything that's on our list that we're talking about right now. I make sure that, because I know it doesn't matter if I pay for a ticket or if I'm flying non-rev, everything can go wrong. And until you arrive at that destination, it's kind of out of your control.
The one thing that I've always said since I've been doing this job, and this is true, this is in the best way. When I come to work, I plan on everything going wrong, because it's the airline industry. And then when it goes right, it's a great day. So, I mean, it goes right way more than it ever goes wrong. But I still plan on going wrong, so I'm not upset. I'm just there. I do my job, and then I go home. Right?
Right.
All right, guys. Hey, listen, man. We've had a great time this week. Shawn, end it with the quote.
Hey, our quote today is, many of life's failures are people who don't realize how close they were to success when they gave up.
Thomas Edison.
Love
that, man.
I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, it's like what we're doing right now. You keep trying, and you're trying to improve yourself, and you try to make it, right. And you're going to continue to fail. You're going to do a lot more failing than actually winning. And
you and I will work on that.
We're working on it.
Did you like that? Did you like that?
I like that, man.
You like the you and I?
You're improving.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Till next week, guys.
All right, guys. You guys have a great week.
All right.
See you next time.
If you laughed, learned something, or just feel a little bit better about your own job after hearing about ours, do us a favor. Subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with your weirdest coworker. You know the one. Hit us up on Facebook. Drop your wildest airport stories. We just might read them on air. Bonus points if you involve questionable clothing decisions. Until next time, stay strapped in, stay hydrated,
And for the love of TSA, keep your clothes on in the terminal.